Hello and welcome to Spooning with me, Mark Wogan. We are here in Homeslice in the City of London, and I have a mild attachment to this restaurant, as regular listeners will know, but let's not let that cloud our judgment or detract from my very special guest, who is here to try the food that they think they love and the food that they think they hate. And I will, of course, be blindfolding them with a rather extraordinary blindfold this week, but that's also a different matter. So who is my very special guest this week? Well, I mean, if you don't know of her, I don't know what rock you've been living under for about the last 30 odd years, but she spent most of the noughties telling us what not to wear, and she's been on Strictly, she's been in the jungle, she's been sort of everywhere. She has lived a life, and if you've read her memoir, you would know what kind of a life as well. But will you please welcome to Spooning with Mark Wogan, Susannah Constantine.
Oh, hello, Marky Mark.
Hello, nice to see you.
How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Well, yes, you should be, because
anything to do with food.
I know. Well, that's what I loved. You know, regular listeners will know that people fill out a questionnaire before coming on this show, and yours was detailed, which we always love, and yours showed a real passion for food, which we love as well, and a hatred of certain things, which I see as a challenge, but that's we'll get to. So you are here to talk about many things, but you're taking part in a new show. Tell me about this new show.
Well, the new show is called the Yorkshire Auction House,
Yes.
and there are two things that I'm really passionate about in life. First is food.
Yep.
And second is collecting antiques, and both stem from my childhood. My father was an avid collector and had a genius eye and was an extraordinary aesthetic, and wherever he travelled in the world, he would find, you know, some antique dealer, he would go in and he would buy things, so, and especially in France. And my sister and I would go
Or
to
as
all
we call
the...
it, brocante.
A brocante.
Yes.
But he found some really amazing things. The most extraordinary being was this Elizabethan child's chair made out of oak, which turned out to be the earliest child's chair
Really?
in Britain, yeah. And because it's oak and it's brown, it's probably not worth very much anymore, but it's such a beautiful piece.
Do you think brown will come back round again?
Well,
I mean, I only ask because I've got a house full of it.
Yeah, same.
And I'm rather worried about what to do, because it's seemingly it's worth nothing now.
Well, I don't think that matters. And
No?
it's like, you know, my kids are sort of finding their own way now and getting their own places to live, and they're thinking, you know, we want to go to Maid or IKEA or wherever. I said,
No.
absolutely.
No.
Go to the small auction houses and you will pick up an exquisitely made chest of drawers for 50 to 100 quid.
That won't fall apart or require an Allen key.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's something. And so when I was asked to take place in the Yorkshire Auction House,
And this is on Really, the channel.
Yes.
Really, yeah.
And I just thought, okay, because I don't do much television anymore, but because it tapped into my passions, I thought, actually, this sounds really fun. And I spoke to Angus, who presents it, and completely fell in love with him. He's such a lovely man. And it was fun. And it turned out to be one of the best experiences I've had, because I've never been, despite my passion for furniture and antique furniture and bits and pieces, I'd never been to an auction.
What?
So it was great, yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned your parents. So let's go all the way back. So you were born in Hammersmith, like
Yes.
me.
Were
Queen
you?
Charlotte's Hospital.
Yeah, Queen Charlotte's
Yep,
Hospital.
That's where I was born. And my father was he was in the army, and then he was he then in finance? What area was he in, Dad?
He then joined the family business, which
Like me, you grew up in abject middle class bliss, didn't you?
total, yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Pete.
Complete and utter.
Yeah.
But so the family company, the Constantine Holdings, as it was called, was it was shipping, investment, and transportation.
So like a lot of Greek families.
Yeah, but I'm not Greek.
I know, but that's the weird
Yeah,
thing.
but it is. But they were all...
I mean, it is a Greek name.
Well, it's not. And it's not weirdly when it's a surname. Okay, so My
So when
father
it's
was
a first name, it's a Greek name. When it's a surname,
exactly. You can have Constantinos, but Constantine actually is originally French, and there was a young guy who came over. Supposedly, this is what my dad used to say, and he was a bit of a snob. Came over with William the Conqueror, and his last name was Constantin, and according to legend, we are related from that manservant.
Okay.
From 1066.
who obviously did well,
He obviously did well.
hanging around in the right crowd.
Yeah, it was kind of landed gentry, and then they started buying ships, and the ships were used for cargo, so they were merchant ships, and then they were all
Sounds
used.
like the family kept that tradition going then with the shipping bit.
Well, yeah, with my son now being in the Navy, but they and then they were used during the Second World War, and they were all bombed. Very English, and grew up in Cumbria in the Lake District. She was one of 5 girls.
And so what is so there seems to be a heavy connection to France.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, it's primarily food. It's food and antiques. So we used to have a little teeny weeny little doll's house in a village called Gassin, which is right behind Saint-Tropez, and we would go there all summer, every summer. And that was at the time when Brigitte Bardot was there. It was completely unspoilt. The most, really traditional fishing town. We had a little teeny weeny fishing boat.
Who'd have thought Saint-Tropez was like that?
I know, it was so, and I went back there not so long ago with a friend who was staying there, and it broke my heart. Don't go back. My advice is never go back to somewhere that you have a really fond memory of that you haven't been to for a long time. It was
The world
heartbreaking.
changes.
Yeah,
It moves on, and sometimes you are better off with the memory.
exactly.
How was childhood? Was it a happy place? Was it, was it this sort of bucolic thing, or was it?
Yeah, I mean, on paper it was, on the surface it was. I had a, really privileged upbringing. Didn't want for anything. I mainly grew up in the countryside, in Lincolnshire, and
Always good for a sausage.
Yeah, it was, it was sort of Enid Blyton, dream come true, ponies and horses. But the downside of that was my beloved mother was severely bipolar. And she was really bad. And so that was pretty destabilizing, waking up most mornings not knowing A, whether she'd be on a high or low or had tried to kill herself.
Right. And with that family dynamic, was Dad aware, or did he do that very kind of British, that generation thing of like, everything's fine,
Yeah.
your mother's fine, she's lying face down on the floor,
Yeah.
she's fine, she'll get up in a minute.
Yeah, in total denial.
Yeah.
And, my mother never once went to a psychiatrist. It was just give her more pills, give her more pills. So she couldn't really function. But in herself, there were 2 people, well, there were 2 things attached to my mother. One was her true personality, and the other was her illness. And sometimes her illness would take over the person, and the illness person was a total nightmare.
Yeah.
But the real mum was the sweetest, kindest, most unjudgmental.
So that thing of when she was in the mania, was she like spectacular and sort of fantastic and totally engaging and sort of thing, or was it sort of no, I need her somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, she wasn't actually. It was so extreme. She would speak so fast that you couldn't understand what she was saying. She would. I would get letters at school and this writing. It was just scribble because, her brain was working so fast I couldn't understand what it was. And then one time I remember I had this little dog called Kimmy, and who was a Yorkshire Terrier, and Kimmy died, which was very sad. And I was at school. Anyway, I got this box and this parcel. I'm very excited and got the parcel, and it was like, kind of a big shoe box, opened it up, and there was poor Kimmy.
Oh my goodness.
Dead in the shoe box, like a sort of contortionist from Cirque du
I
Soleil.
imagine your mother had no idea
My mother,
subsequently that she'd sent it.
no, she knew she'd sent it, and she did it with, you know, you might want to kind of bury him. Here's Kimmy, he's died, and here's his body. You can bury him at school. I mean, insane. But that was the kind of, you know, the sort of lunatic things she would do.
Thing, isn't it? Because people would look at you and they would see your life and the life that you've led of perceived privilege, which from maybe a situational or financial situation, yes.
Absolutely.
But mental illness, in whatever shape or form it takes, will find you regardless of your station in life.
Yeah.
And life gets you no matter what.
Yeah, and then, you know, in the same way, it's the same with addiction, isn't it? It doesn't matter who you are, how much you've got in the bank, in your bank account, whether you live on, you know, outside King's Cross Station in a sleeping bag or a castle. If you're an addict, we're all the same. At the end of the day, we are all the same. And it's, you know, with my mum's illness, I choose to, you know, she gave me so much, my mum, in terms of to always appreciate everyone, no matter who they are. And I really hope that I've always lived by that standard, because it's just who I am. But also, her illness gave me the ability to live in the moment, because be that time when you wake up in the morning, I wouldn't know how the day was going to be because of her and her illness. So I could only live in the moment because that's all I had. And today, that's what I do. I live in the moment. And I absolutely thank my mum for that.
I have a moment for you now, which is Antonia has made you
Oh my God.
as per your request.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Antonia.
Antonia, my God, look at that.
So this is, tell everybody what you asked for.
Here we have, I'm literally...
Drooling. She is dribbling. Literally dribbling.
Okay, this is a margherita pizza
Yep.
with olives and anchovies. And anchovies will go on to anchovies, I'm sure. But this comes from when we would spend every summer in France. We'd go and have a picnic. We'd go and buy a slice of pizza.
The saladier.
Yeah, and they'd be, you know, we'd eat it cold, and they were never in slices like that. They were in squares, wrapped up in paper.
Well, I don't think the French can do round. They can do squares. Anyway, that's a different thing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's the saltiness of the anchovies, which is essential. I love olives, but actually I realise they make me bloat. I look like I'm having triplets after I've eaten.
We don't have anything like that.
But I'll still eat them.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, shall we?
Oh, look.
I'm gonna slice this up now.
I am literally. I didn't know we were actually going to eat.
Of course, we eat all the way through this. You've got so much food to get through.
Yogurt for breakfast.
Hold
so
on. That's the other thing I wanted to touch on, was like somewhere I read your breakfast what sounded revolting, which was broccoli and tuna.
Yep. But that's when I can be asked, okay? Otherwise,
Hold on. That sounds like the opposite of being asked. I'll have broccoli and tuna for breakfast. What, did you not have anything else?
No, but have you ever come across this girl on Instagram, and she's an author and she's done those, called the Glucose Goddess?
No.
And it's all about how your glucose spikes. So if you have vegetables first in the morning and then protein, so it could be a little omelette or something afterwards, you have more energy because you don't have that kind of insulin spike.
I just drink a lot of really strong coffee.
I always have coffee every morning.
What about pizza now? Go on. Just give that a little pull.
Very big slice, but...
Well, go on. So you just go for a New York fold. Right?
Oh, okay, show me.
So look, it's just this. Look.
My son's in Naples at the moment,
like
actually.
That.
So I'm just going to go like that.
Right,
sorry for sound.
No, but look, this is perfectly contained. Nothing's going anywhere. That's not
very
dripping.
Clever. I'm just going to take another anchovy from
Well,
there.
hold on. Now, now I love this kind of anchovy, which is a typical Calabrian anchovy.
Yeah, it's from a tin. It's salty.
Yeah, it's salty,
and delicious.
and it just gives so much, right? However, how do you feel about a boccherones?
No.
You don't like a boccherones?
All my kids do, but that's a bit Danish for me, and my husband's Danish.
No, that's not Danish. That's Spanish.
Okay, let me have a try.
Go on, try one of those. Just pull one of those off. There we go. That's delicious there.
I mean, it's okay.
Okay.
There's not a patch on these.
I mean, I like those. We used, for a long time here at Homeslice, we did our own version of a sort of pissaladière, which is the French caramelized onions with thyme and butter. And that was the base of the pizza. And then we literally just put olives and anchovies and a bit of parsley on the top. It was a great pizza. I think I might bring that back. I think you might have inspired me to bring that pizza back. How good is that?
Guys.
Antonio.
This is the best pizza. This is the best pizza.
Well, you are in
outside.
Homeslice. I don't mean to be biased, but you've got the best dough, the best chefs, the best ingredients.
My God, it's incredible.
Fairly average owner, you know.
Do you have an investment in it? In the restaurant?
I own it.
Oh, you own it?
Yes. Me and my brother own it.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's ours.
Oh
We
my
started.
God. Seriously, this is the best pizza.
This is what I've done for a living for about the last,
Look at that.
God knows what. 2013 we opened the first one in Covent Garden, still there, despite the Treasury and other factors' best efforts to remove us from the planet. But no, it's something I love. You know, I've always been involved in food.
Have this one
Now I've got
restaurant.
this one here, and the other one over in Covent Garden. And then I've got another company called Simplicity Foods that I started with my brother and Neil Rankin,
Okay.
which we make plant-based food. However, we have taken a revolutionary approach, which you would appreciate. We use vegetables.
Oh, well, there you go.
Turns out that's what our plants, not hydrogenated soy or pea protein powder or methacellulose, which you can claim comes from a vegetable.
Protein powder is such a scam.
Do you know who I go with? Now, Chris Eubanks.
Yeah.
Right? He would always say he knew that if his opponent was drinking protein shakes, he could beat it.
Yeah, because he'd burn out really quickly. He'd be boom, 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 and then burn out.
He always ate food, proper food. I mean, had a strange effect on his mind, but I'm not sure that wasn't being punched in the head that did that, but that's another thing altogether. So we're happy with this. This has made you very happy.
This has made me... I would have travelled hours for this pizza.
Good.
And I will be coming back.
Excellent. Well, you are always welcome here. And what I wanted to touch on was, you know, when you first came to sort of prominence was when you had a quite a famous boyfriend who was David Linley, or Viscount Linley as he was then. Was he the second Earl of Snowdon now?
Now, yeah.
Are you still mates?
I wouldn't say we're mates, but we are definitely in contact, and I could pick up the phone to him any time.
I mean,
vice versa.
I know him. I've always found him to be a lovely man. But you dated for a long time.
6 years.
Did he never almost drop to one knee?
My God, I tried.
I mean,
he never asked me, so that's why I moved on. I did try. I moved to New York for 6 months, and I thought this will do it. Nah, nothing. So in the end, I just thought, right.
Being the style guru that you are, is it you that made him say you should only ever wear a polo neck, never wear anything else ever again?
That's nothing to do with it. That's his father.
Oh, is it?
That's the legacy of his father.
Okay, so he inherited a title and a polo neck.
And a polo neck, yeah.
Because he is always just in a polo neck.
Yeah.
I quite like him for that, though.
Yeah, but
it
it's
makes-
good on him because he's got a bit of a chin, so it works well.
Oh, okay. Just talking about your ex like that. Now, he was the late Queen's favourite nephew, right? And recently we've experienced a lot of the Queen's favourite son. You hung out in those circles. I mean, there are many, we are talking about Andrew, right? There are many who say it couldn't have happened to a nicer person. You're just carrying an easy.
No, keep going. I will respond.
I mean, is he misunderstood, or is he the arse that he comes across as?
Well-
Because I've met his daughters and they are charming
They're lovely.
and lovely, and I feel so, you know,
Flattered
having
to
had
death.
a famous father, I feel bereft for what they must
Yeah.
be going through.
I mean, it's
with their
horrendous.
father being who he
And their
seems
mother.
to be. Well, I mean, look, I've met her a couple of times. I couldn't comment, but I just think those poor girls,
Yeah.
both of whom I've met, both of whom seem sensible, nice, charming, together people.
I mean, you can only assume. I mean, for the girls to be like that, there must be elements of their parents that are fantastic because they did such a good job bringing
But
up
you're
their
saying you've never
daughters.
seen that.
I have met Andrew. I didn't meet him that often, to be honest. There was the papers kind of insinuated I was having a fling with him, which is
Really?
totally wrong. And in my humble opinion, he is an ignorant, entitled, stupid individual who thinks the world owes him a favour, and he was above the law, above reproachment. And for me, that sense of entitlement
Oh, it's unbearable, isn't it?
is the worst trait in a human being, and that's so. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Especially when you grow up with everything, to then feel entitled as well.
Well, I think that's what does make you feel entitled, and I think actually you
But
can.
hold on, both you and I grew up in
Yeah,
a
but
level
we
of comfort,
We
but
didn't have kind of servants running around in our arse wipe, did we? And
No.
money was never an
there
issue.
wasn't somebody putting toothpaste on your toothbrush.
No, and we worked. We both worked. I've worked since I was 16. Maybe he worked. Only knows how to manage to get a helicopter license, because that's difficult.
No.
And I know about the Navy now because my son is in the Navy, and I know how damn hard it is to get into the Navy. And all I can say is that he was shoehorned in. He must have been.
But I don't know anyone who's ever met him and gone, top bloke. Does he have? I mean, would the person who thinks he's a top bloke please come forward? I'd like to meet you.
But the thing is, it's like record. I'm sorry. Do you mind if I?
No, you
more?
carry on eating. I mean, that's what it's there for.
I mean, it's. I think you can. His circumstances, growing up in having a background like that must be very, very, very difficult.
How difficult?
No, you can be all right left wing about it, Mark, but it is.
No, I'm not being left wing about it. I'm literally being right down the middle about it.
Okay,
It's
so
like you have a purpose and a job from the word.
no, but that's the point. You do not have a purpose, and any purpose that you have is not chosen by yourself. So someone like that is born into immense wealth, immense privilege. Where does fulfilling your dreams come in? If you grow up in an environment where he doesn't need to dream for anything, and you don't have that.
Well, I'm not sure he was able to.
Yeah, exactly. So that's.
Well, no, just from a mental capacity. But hold on, throw that in. But no, I think it is. I, as a second son, right?
Spare, yeah.
Spare. And a couple of weeks ago, we had Clodagh McKenna sitting there, who is married Harry Herbert, who is the most charming second son, because he's the Earl of Carnarvon's son, who was the Queen's horse trainer. Grew up in frickin' Downton Abbey, for goodness sake. But he works hard. He's a great raconteur. He's a charming guy. He's sensitive. He's kind. He stood up and got a job, and did, whereas he could have sat on his arse in a Grace and Favour house on that massive estate and done nothing, and he didn't.
Yeah, that's very true.
And that's the point I'm making about Andrew. It's like there is so much good he should have done.
Or he could have done.
Yeah.
Or it was all, yeah. Well, I don't know where that's come from. You're not born like that. You're made like that. So, was it because he was the favourite son and he got away with murder?
But it's the only thing that I question the Queen on. A couple of things I question the Queen on. But,
I agree.
You go, where's your judgment there?
Yeah.
Because he's a raving idiot. Anyway.
Yeah.
Enough about him.
We both know where we stand on.
Exactly. He's as my father would say, he's an Egypt. And he felt the same as well, having played golf with him once, but that's another story. But you can call me sir. Really? All right. Then, so you've dated a viscount.
I hadn't managed to. I failed at him getting.
You failed to get him to marry you.
Thank God.
You then dated a cricketer.
Well, then it was like, okay, well, you're not going to marry me. And like going out with David, and I wasn't manipulative. I did genuinely love him.
Yeah.
But it's
But
then like,
it was
where
weirdly,
did you...
those of us who were around at that time, it was kind of apparent that you loved this man.
I really, really loved him. And he's an amazing... You know, the thing about David is that he could have become an Andrew. And
he
he
didn't.
worked so hard. I used to drive down after work every evening down to his workshop near Dorking. You know,
And he wasn't a front for the business. He can make that
he can
stuff.
make furniture. Yeah,
He's a very, very talented
hugely creative, very smart, and I have enormous respect for him. And then, so anyway...
And then you married someone else who was good with their hands. No, dated someone else who was
Yeah, he was very good. So then, I got dumped by I got dumped basically by a viscount, and I thought, okay, where does a Sloane Ranger go from here?
Because you were kind of queen of the Sloane Rangers. You were, or maybe the Duchess.
I kind of flew in the face of the Sloane Ranger.
You had a barber.
No, I never had a barber.
Did you have roughneck and pearls?
Nope, never wore pearls and never wore an Alice band.
Fine.
Okay, so I was a bit like that to the Sloane Ranger. Yeah. So anyway, I then went out with Imran Khan, who was like, you know, the most handsome man in the world, massive playboy.
And I think Shag of the century, wasn't he, at the time? I mean, I'm just saying.
Apparently.
Yeah, no, it couldn't possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I could go deeper into the religious aspect of that, but I won't.
No, let's...
And that was an amazing, amazing time because, you know, Imran gave me so much. He gave me a real passion and surface, I would say, understanding of cricket, because it's such a complicated game that's always evolving.
I can't watch it.
Oh, I love it so much.
You love it?
It's the most beautiful game. It's the skill.
Maybe I need to try and understand it, because...
You don't need to understand it that well. It's just the skill of these players where it's mind-blowing. I mean, a fast bowler in a test series, okay, let's say he's kind of the main bowler in a day.
I'm talking cricket, Susannah.
Okay,
But anyway, carry on.
And he will run in a day, if he's like, there's two bowlers, he's one of the two bowlers, he will run the equivalent of a marathon every day. Okay. Bowling. Fast, but not a spinner, but a fast bowler.
It's running a marathon in short spurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's sprinting.
No, I give you that.
He sprints a marathon.
No, they're definitively skilled, but I just find the kind of, it just takes too long.
Yeah, well, you're just impatient.
I mean, I can't.
Possibly a bit ADHD.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Not possibly. Definitely.
No.
They're arguably type 2 bipolar as well, but that's another story. Yeah.
Okay.
But so I think you sort of, he was definitely your transitional partner, would you say? Was that a kind of a bit of a sort of two fingers up at the whole establishment? Yeah.
But
because he was seen as back then, I mean, now he's, you know...
Well, he's in jail.
I know, you know.
Terrible.
And his life has sort of taken so many twists and turns. But he was seen as he was a proper it boy.
He was a heartthrob.
Yeah.
He was a global heartthrob. And he was mine for a year and a half. Thank you very much. But over and above that, so he I toured with the Pakistani cricket team when it was 89, and they were playing series in Australia. And all the cricketers at the time, so it was like Mushtaq and Waqar Younis, they were all 18 years old, kind of roughly, and they'd never been away from their homes. So they were incredibly homesick, and I became like their kind of mother figure. And we...
you were in your mid-20s at that
Yeah,
stage?
well, I was like kind of 26, 27.
Yeah.
And I'd take them out and get them into trouble, and Imran would get furious with me. And this is, and that was an amazing time touring with them and really gaining an appreciation. And it was the racism in Australia against the Pakistani team was off the scale. It was so terrible. And they just, you know, they
They
fought through it. They
cricket
kept,
speak for
yeah, they
itself.
let the cricket and they won. And I remember they were playing in Adelaide, and Imran and Wasim Akram struck up this partnership, and it was going up and up and up and up and up, and they got the highest rated partnership. It was like, I think it was 372 runs, which was the highest ever scored. And I actually missed that, and I left a note on Imran's bed saying, "Sorry, I'm going back to Melbourne." And
Because of something else.
no, not because of something else, because basically I knew that there was no future in it, and you know, he was, and he knew that. It was just an amazing time. But Pakistan too is something else he gave me, and I really fell in love with that country. I felt like I'd come home when I arrived there.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, talking about cricket, you will have got Chris, who is our visual producer here, very excited because you love a bit of cricket, don't you, Chris?
Going to be ashy.
Oh, we're going to be so stuffed. We are going to get thrashed. Don't you think?
Oh, I think we'll nick it.
Do you think?
2-1.
Why don't you
2-1.
start?
All right, you
Quite
heard it
soon.
here first. Chris says 2-1. What's Susannah saying? Going to get stuffed.
I think we're going to get stuffed.
All
I
right.
think it's going to be clean sweep for Australia.
Now-
But I'm so excited.
Now, we couldn't talk to you without talking about Trini. So you started off writing a column together. You met at a party. You started off writing a column for the Telegraph, and after a couple of false-ish starts as a kind of TV thing, it then broke as What Not to Wear. And I was sort of thinking about that. It's like, nowadays, if you'd had those false starts, you wouldn't have that career. Or you would have had to have built it elsewhere, or you would have had to have totally made that thing yourself. It would have been a social media thing. But back then, I mean, you were such huge stars of TV. It's like you were the sort of
I mean,
one of the big faces. I mean, like, you know, you even danced on Children in Need with my dad.
yes.
Yeah.
Remember, we did Vogue.
You vogued.
We
on Children
vogued.
in Need.
And actually, one of my
And back then, to be
Yeah.
asked onto Children in Need, you needed to be a big star.
yeah, then I mean,
I'm not saying that.
but you know, we never. I mean,
Because this
personally,
is 2000.
yeah, this is sort of 2000s, and I never. It's kind of weird, you know. I'm sure you and your dad would have think the same thing. It's like when you're in it, you don't think of yourself as like a star.
Well, I think it depends on the person you are. And you touched on it with that thing. I had a similar attitude from my parents, as you take everybody on face value.
Yeah.
And you don't, you know, you're just kind. First and
Yeah.
foremost, you're kind
Yeah.
and you're nice to people, which obviously I did have to stop drinking and taking drugs
Yeah.
to become that person.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't really necessarily that
Yeah.
in my sort of teens and early 20s because I was a lunatic.
Yeah.
But the thing about you is everybody, the kind of, the what not to wear you is very different to who you are, really. It was a performance, wasn't it?
God, yeah.
Because
You've read my memoir, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's good, isn't it?
It's very good.
It's very funny.
Well, it's very funny and it's very true.
Yeah.
There's, you know, you kind of went, I have got, because you brought it out 2022 and it's called Ready for Nothing.
Ready for absolutely nothing.
Really,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. And it speaks to somebody who's been through their own sort of hell, their own version of hell, come out the other side and go, I have got nothing to hide. I don't care what you think. It's the old cliche, what you think of me is none of my business.
Yeah, exactly.
know.
But you love that.
But at that point, you know, where the two of you are so under the microscope and you are major celebrities. I mean, if you look, that's the extraordinary thing about it. It's like you've been, you know, you were sort of the head of the Sloane rankings
Yeah.
in a funny sense. You know, you travel with the Pakistani cricket team. you then have this huge TV career. I mean, it's a lot. You've crammed a lot in.
Yeah,
So
well, I'm
far.
quite old now.
Yeah, you're
so,
not that bloody old.
but I think what you just said, Mark, is so true. It's like that wasn't, that was a performance. Much of my life has been a performance, especially the TV years, because that isn't my natural environment now. And the reason, I did
Can you watch you?
absolutely not.
What
I
does
would
it
be
do
I
to
would
you
be.
when you watch it?
It gives me genuinely extreme anxiety.
Really?
Yeah, it really makes me feel
What,
anxious.
because you look at that person and you feel sorry for them, or you look at that person and you feel, I don't know who that is, why am I being like that? What is it that it brings up in you?
I think I look at that person probably and think, my God, you're so exposed. And it makes me feel vulnerable.
But the funny thing is, you then went on to, with the memoir, completely expose yourself and make yourself completely
Yeah, but I was in
vulnerable.
control of that.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And also, it's funny.
Do you have control issues?
I don't actually, no. In fact, I have the reverse. I should have more control issues than I do. I haven't, and yeah. But I think that, writing that book, everyone says, oh, was it cathartic? No, it wasn't fucking cathartic at all. It wasn't in the slightest. It was really good fun writing it. But as I said, because I live in the moment, I'd never look back at my life. And then there was this thing about, I went public about being an alcoholic because I could see how many women were suffering during lockdown. And so I thought, well, maybe my story will help them. And then I did start looking back and thinking, was there a point when where I flipped from, drinker, heavy drinker, alcoholic? Could I have prevented that? I think probably it's when I started doing, I think it was probably kind of it was the early 2000s.
Yes. So as you became famous.
Yeah, pretty much.
So as a coping mechanism for
well, I think
that,
it was to be
scrutiny.
Yep. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Although you had been scrutinised.
It never. And also, Mark, when you're in this world, or have been in this world, I'm not anymore. You can be really incredibly well known, but you can still have a private life.
Yeah.
I
mean, a couple of weeks ago, we had Andy Peters on.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Andy Peters other than who you see on the TV? He has done the most spectacular job of keeping his private life private. My dad did the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I did quite a bad job of keeping myself private at various points.
Yeah.
Dad was a target. I was an easy Achilles heel.
Yeah, but I mean, with all due respect, you and I are little peons. I mean, I'm talking about, huge stars like Brad Pitt. He can walk out on the street, or even someone like George Clooney. They don't court the press.
No.
And so they can keep, and I, because that was just who I was. I never felt that I was reported on in any other way than the Susannah of Trinny and Susannah. So I didn't really give anyone said, because it wasn't really me.
But did you enjoy any aspect of that time?
Yeah, I loved working with Trinny, and we developed such a deep and profound friendship through that. And
Trinny seems to do that with the people who I know who know Trinny speak very highly of her as a friend.
She's an amazing friend. She's so loyal and so thoughtful to the people she loves, and she goes above and beyond to look after the people she loves.
Are you still in touch with her? You're still
Very
mates?
much so. Yep.
I mean, she's had enormous success with her makeup range.
And
I mean, she's
you know what? She deserves every single ounce of success, because she works so bloody hard.
Because again, that thing of everyone perceive her to have grown up in, abject middle class bliss and this and that, whatever. She's had a tough life.
She's had she really has had a tough life.
And has faced it, come out the other side.
She's amazing.
Continues to kind of reinvent.
I mean, I look at her and I'm just exhausted. I mean, I am just too lazy to
But
have
hold
done
on a
any
second.
of that. But she is.
Because how many
tireless.
kids have you got now?
I've got 3.
You've got 3. And they age range from...
They are 22, 24, and 27.
So you are now empty nesters. Or,
Yes, I am.
and are you happy about that?
Yes, I am.
And do you and your husband sort of sit there and do, I don't know, knitting together? What do you do now?
I mean, we do a lot of stuff apart, actually. You know, because I think
Well, he cycles, doesn't he?
he cycles.
Which, you know, I mean, is fine. A bicycle is a fine thing.
You know my opinion on
However,
cyclists,
I
don't
am
you?
absolutely with you.
Yeah.
That if you are over the age of 30 and not competing at an international level, you have no right to wear lycra.
I couldn't agree with you more.
What are you doing? Because every Sunday, the B roads are cluttered up with people who look like they've been melted down and poured into their clothes. I mean, maybe what you should do is come up with a sort of cycling outfit for the middle-aged man that doesn't involve us seeing his meat at 2
Absolutely
veg.
not. Absolutely. I want nothing to do with it.
Or his man nut.
If my husband was on the road and was in the way of my car, I would happily run him over. Get out the way. I literally, shame on him. But actually, to be fair, he always looks an absolute mess, which I love him for. And he'll be in, you know, he'll have his little, what do you call it, Under Armour things to keep his bits in place. And then he'll just throw on a pair of swimming trunks. So I love him for that. He looks a mess. And
How long have you guys been together now?
we've been together 34 years.
Gosh, is it that long? Just, you see, when you say that, I don't think that's amazing. I rather selfishly think, Christ, that means I'm old.
Well, you are old.
Yeah,
And so am
all
I.
right. I need to rub it in. Now look, stop eating that. Stop eating that because
It's so good.
we've got others. I've got other stuff for you here.
Okay, fine. I'll eat that
I've
too.
got those for you.
My favourite.
Twiglets.
Do you know what I used to do with this? So
I'm going to move this away from you because it's too much temptation. Here, what do you?
One more little
All right,
bit.
fine. Here we go.
So Twiglets. I first discovered Twiglets when I was about 12. And I've always been obsessed with another sport, tennis. So I watched Wimbledon on the kind of...
Supposed to be. Do you play it?
I can't play any sport, but I love watching it.
No, because according to, I mean, I've heard Chris Evans going on about this on the radio, that tennis is the sport we should all be playing as older people. It's supposed to be incredibly good for you. The only problem is,
Too uncoordinated.
well, it's not so much. It's not the coordination for me. It's I don't want to lose.
Oh, okay.
I'm underneath this avuncular, gentle, middle-aged
Skin is a deeply competitive, prone to anger on a tennis court.
Are you someone who, do you perform better in a sport if someone is worse than you?
No, as long as that person isn't an arse about winning.
Okay.
I can't bear a bad winner. I just want to punch a bad winner in the side of the head.
Really? Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm so unmagnanimous.
So is my wife, Susan. I mean, do not play cards with her. She will be there. Like if she will lay her hand down in front of you and do this, sticking 2 fingers up in your face.
Love
And you're
life.
like, why would I play with you? We had our first ever serious row actually over a game of Chinese poker. We'd had a lovely holiday. It was our first holiday together. Last night we were playing. The last night of the holiday we were playing Chinese poker together. We fell out over the scoring, and didn't speak to each other. And then I decided the best way to break the deadlock was we were sitting on the sort of porch of this room we were in, the sea's in front of us, and I said, all right, last one into the sea naked has to take the blame for the argument.
That's so good.
Of course, she'd won that,
Yeah,
but
of course she
in the course of winning that, ran over some coral and cut her foot.
Oh, bless her.
Anyway, that's
Okay.
another story. Now look, we've got to that time in proceedings where.
Hey, do I have to eat these now?
No, you don't have to eat those. You
Okay.
can take
Can
those
I
home
take
with
them
you.
for
Yeah,
later?
here, look, there's
When I
another 2
watch?
bags. You can take those for later.
Thank you.
You're licking the outside of it. Oh, you spilled some
No, it's because
tomato.
I spilt some tomato on it. But
Now look.
thank you so much. They're going to come with me. I'll put them in my
Excellent.
suitcase.
Now listen,
Later.
we've got a different mask this week because
Is
I
this
forgot.
for me or you?
This is for you. I forgot to bring the normal smug mask, so we've got the frog eye mask for you to pop on. And I'm just going to.
Do I put it on now?
Yeah, you put it on now because it is time for your first spoon.
Okay.
Right, just going to move your glasses to one side. You won't need them. Yeah, that one. We're going with that. Now this I am very happy with as a dish. Look at that. So
I feel like I'm at the dentist.
now I'm going to feed you,
Okay.
but I am very happy with this.
It sounds revolting, whatever it is. Okay,
It's
go.
not. It's not. It's absolutely.
It sounds like a mucus
You've got a
plug.
You've got a big appetite, right?
Little and very, very often.
All right. I'm gonna do you a slightly smaller mouthful
Okay.
then. Here we go. Somebody left the door open. There we go. Oh, let me just.
I'm not
Are you ready?
a 6-month-old. You
Here we
don't
go.
know-
Open
need to go-
wide.
Are you going to go choo choo choo?
No. I can do if it makes you feel more comfortable. But here we go. Open wide. Come on. Take all of that. There we go. Tell me, what have you got? Flavors, textures. Hold on. Why are you pulling that face?
I'm not.
What? You want to spit it out?
That is. Oh.
What do you mean? Oh, hold on. This is. There you go. There's a napkin.
That's aubergine.
It's not aubergine. I wouldn't do that to you. Chew it.
It's rhubarb.
No, it's not rhubarb. How could that be rhubarb? Keep going. What else? Tell me the flavours. Focus on the flavours, Susannah.
Okay, it's obviously pastry.
No.
No.
I mean, at least she hasn't spat it out. She has been a big girl and chewed on it and is no.
What is that?
Just all right. Take the mask off. Take the mask off.
No.
Take the mask
Is there a
off.
bit cheese in there?
Yes, there's quite a lot of cheese in there. What sort of cheese?
It's kind of It's not, but is it? There's a bit of blue cheesy. Goat's cheese.
No goat's cheese. No blue cheese. Go on, take the
Cheddar.
mask off. I need to talk to you about this dish. Go on. Oh, she has
Okay.
spat it out.
I want the pizza.
This is the dish of your childhood. This is braised endive with Mornay sauce and ham. I've gone to a lot of trouble to cook that exactly as it should be.
Did I put that down? I don't even remember
Do a
writing
bit of
that.
research.
Wait,
The chichon.
that is, you really floor me with that. It's the bitterness of the endive. I literally haven't had this since I was a child.
Well, this,
And that
we
is
go all
beautiful.
the way back.
I am stunned.
You see?
Genuinely.
Yeah, stunned enough to spit it out. Jeez.
I thought you were going to play a trick on me. That's
No,
why.
I wouldn't do that.
Yes,
you
you
see,
would.
I'm trying to sort of conjure up this sort of bucolic childhood moment, which tell us about
And
that.
the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was really in France again,
Yeah.
endive, and it was called.
That's kind of why I focused on France in the beginning.
Oh,
but there
okay.
we go.
But
Yeah,
it's
I
the
knew we were
kind of
coming to this.
gratin. It's a gratin, and I mean, this is such a good way to eat vegetables.
It's a great way to eat vegetables. It's a great way to eat chicory or on.
Yeah, which I love, but I love it, in salads and things too.
But the way
That's
you
so
cook it is
funny.
you cut them in half, butter in a pan,
Yeah.
brown them off, then pour in some chicken stock,
Yeah,
let the chicken stock reduce down, cook those through. Then Mornay, which
Little bit of
traditionally
bechamel,
is Gruyere and Parmesan
Yeah.
together, and then ham. I did ham
and
hock with
a
that.
bit of breadcrumbs on there.
Yeah, breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
breadcrumbs on the top to give it a little bit of crunch. You see, it's very nice, right? Or not?
Well, now I know. You see, that's so
You
interesting.
see, you take away sight.
Yeah, because now I know what it is. I like it. But when I couldn't see it, I didn't.
What I do want to talk to you
That makes me such a hypocrite.
Well, We've still got another spoon to go. What I do want to talk to you about is your history with reality TV. You seem to like to leave early. Is this a deliberate ploy where you take the money, and then get out as quickly as possible, or
I do not want to go out early. I do not want that. I go into something thinking I can win.
You see, you are competitive.
So I am quite competitive. But as soon as I realise I don't have a hope in hell, I give up and I want to get out as soon as possible.
Because you've said you didn't necessarily enjoy your time with Anton Dubek.
Loved being with Anton. We became really good friends, and I love someone who.
Sorry, not Anton, but the rigours of the show.
I loved what I hated. I loved everything about doing that show apart from the dancing. Okay, because I was so
That's a bit of a block when it comes to Strictly.
totally and utterly shit. And I thought, so like the first week when I was put with Anton, poor Anton, and like there were all these, they put it on the BBC Instagram, and everyone was, all the people who follow are going, Anton always gets the shittest people, the oldies, poor Anton. And I was like, yeah, totally agree with you.
You weren't even old at that point.
No, but I was the oldest,
Were you?
And I was literally like a kind of the love child of a gorilla and an ironing board.
Dear, no.
And I was so out of my depth. Anyway, but I started off really optimistically, and I got back home and my husband Steen said, "How was it?" And I said, "Actually, you know what? I think I found something I'm quite good at, and that's great." I said, "Yeah, I think I'm good." And then another few days, I said to Alan, "Come on, let's do a showy end. Throw me across the floor." And I went back to Steve and I said, "You know what? I think we could win." Okay. Anyway, get to the opener, and then we kind of see, because you're kind of isolated from the rest of the team. And Stacey Dooley, she became a really good friend. And I said to Stacey, how long have you been rehearsing each day? And she said about, between 12 and 14 hours.
She's definitely competitive, Steve.
Yeah, she's very competitive. She's an amazing human being. And she said, "What about you?" I said, "Well, we've been doing sort of between 2 and 3 hours a day." And basically, we were part-time. And basically, as soon as I walked through the door, he can tell if someone can dance as soon as they walk through the door. As soon as I walked through the door, yeah, he said, "Well, you didn't have a hope in hell."
Oh, that's nice.
So we just...
But he left that until you'd left.
Yeah, and it made me laugh so much. But it was horrendous. It was the most humiliating...
I'm going to walk very differently if I ever see him. I'm going to get up on my toes, sort of prance around a bit, sort of Wayne Sleep style.
But he is the most lovely man, and my God, he was...
Patient.
He was patient, and he suffered the humiliation with me. And it was dreadful.
So Stacey won that. But
Stacey won that.
I'm just trying to remember, so...
And then...
Was Fern McCann in that, or was she in the jungle?
She was in the jungle.
She was in the jungle, because she's been on Spooning.
Yeah, she's lovely.
She's great.
She's great.
I really liked her. Did you hate the jungle?
I found it so boring. And that, I went in and I did it for the money. I got offered a lot of money, and it was the most boring 2 weeks of my life.
Now,
because there's nothing to do.
Andy Peters said he was going to make a phone call and see if he could get me in the jungle. I've heard nothing from him since.
What, is he there now?
No, but he knows the person who produces it, and he was on. And I mentioned that I would be willing to get under the shower, soak myself up on TV, that kind of thing. I'm not sure anyone will want to see that. But, he said he'd make a call. I've heard nothing. That's all I'm saying. But you've got another spoon to have.
Okay.
So it's that time. Back on with the froggy eyes.
Love these. Aww.
Slip those on. Make sure you can't see a thing. And this is your next spoon. I'm sliding across here now. Oh my goodness me. I mean, I Hold on.
Oh, I'm
I
scared.
think I have nailed this
I'm scared.
in terms of a dish. This is, I'm
Is
very,
it something I'm going to know?
well, I don't know. So you might just want to take a bite of this. So I'm putting it up to your mouth and you're going to take a bite. Go. Go on. Sink your teeth in. Go on. Is that good? How do we feel about that?
Okay, there's kind of
The face is not looking like it's enjoying itself.
I love the donutty bit.
Yes, good. You've spotted the donut.
I love the. It's kind of a bit creme fraiche. It could be custard, but it's a bit
Yeah, no, custard.
sour.
Custard is good.
And then there's something in there that I don't like,
Oh, that's disappointing.
and I'm wondering if that might be rhubarb.
You might be absolutely right. Go on, take the mask off. I made you. Look, you're going to spit it out again. Unbelievable. You're such a spitter, if you don't mind. I've
So was I
never
right?
had this. Do you know you are the first person in the history of spooning that has been a double spitter?
Really?
You spat out both spoons.
I know, but one I'm supposed to like, and the one
Yeah.
I correctly spat out.
But
I could eat the
I went to-
outside. You did
I-
not make them. Do you swear you
I
made
s-
those?
Guys, did I not make these from scratch?
Will you tell me? Can you send me the recipe for these?
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
put something like jam in.
Well, there is. I've made a vanilla and rhubarb jam to go inside.
Okay, so that's not got very much rhubarb in it.
It's got quite. a
It's
lot.
not. You got that. You got that from Petit Maman, Bon Maman.
No, I didn't.
Rhubarb jam.
No.
Do you make the jam?
Yeah, of course I did.
What do you do with the rest of it?
It's at home. My wife actually likes it.
Really?
Yeah, unlike you. That's why I'm married to her. Look, lovely custard, homemade custard.
That is very good.
Little donuts filled.
No,
with
they're beautiful, and
Rhubarb and custard
They're,
donuts.
of course.
Come on. And you really, really hate. I mean, what I love is that invariably people, look, you're just eating the custard there.
Yeah.
Invariably people who really hate something can spot it from a mile off. But sometimes I'm able to hoodwink them by putting.
Well, that is so heavily disguised.
Yes.
And I think
Well, of course.
I deserve
You do deserve a
a
medal,
medal for recognising that.
but you also deserve recognition for being the person to spit out both spoons. That has never happened. And I really thought I'd nailed it on the food side this week, but you've.
Well, you should have done. You know,
Isn't
I
it
would
that
take
thing?
that home. I would take that home with me now that.
Well, I've got
know
another one
what it
over
is.
there that hasn't been
Sadly, I'm
cooked,
not
so-
going back home tonight.
Oh, okay,
That is
fine.
so delicious. You swear
You've
you
got your
made
Twiglets
this.
for that. Of course I make everything. You see, this is the common misconception. People think I don't cook everything on this, and I do. Ever since we left Mount Street, I've had to cook everything myself.
This is so good, Mark.
I know.
You're really naughty because
Well,
I shouldn't be eating this stuff. I'm trying to be good.
Why are you trying to be good? What's the point?
I'm a
Life's
bit
too
of a-
short.
Bit of a fat cunt at the moment, basically.
Have you thought about Manjaro? Everyone else is.
You know, I did try to get on it illegally,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't get myself to look big enough in a photograph. So you got to lie. I even got so I was like in leggings.
Couldn't you
and
do
a top.
like a Joey from Friends and put on all of Chandler's
I
clothes?
got a pregnancy bodysuit and I wore a thing over it, and it wasn't enough.
Do you think they just looked at the photo and went, "That's Susannah Constantine. She's not that fat. We're not giving
Maybe.
it to her." See, this is
But
the problem
I- you
with
know
being,
what-
being a person
yeah.
of note.
But you just got to, I just run more. The only reason I run is so I can eat more.
And how often and how far do you run?
I'll do a long run, which is about 8 miles once a week.
Wow.
And then I'll do shorter runs of about 4 miles.
Is it a run or
twice.
a shuffle?
I think if you saw me running,
Yeah. You'd go
you would
impressive.
go. No, you would go. Why is she bothering to run? She should just walk.
Well, listen, I think you can go at whatever pace you like
Yeah.
because what you manage to do is always end up at the finish line winning. And
Oh, I don't,
have
but
to.
yeah.
No, I have to say I'm a big fan, and having sat
Well,
with
you are
you
now.
No, and having sat with you,
Yeah.
even bigger.
No.
And it's been
bless
a
you.
pleasure to have you
Thank
on.
you so much.
And
I've-
everybody can see you on Celebrity Yorkshire Auction House Discovery Plus
Yes.
at the moment. That's there.
17th, I think it comes out November.
17th. Thank you so much for being great
Thank you.
sport. I'm not going to say thank you for spitting out all my food, but there we go. You can't have everything. Huge thank you to Susannah for taking part. Of course, I will be back next week with another very special guest here at Homeslice, and we will be feeding them pizza and a whole range of other foods that they think they love and that they think they hate. If you like what we're doing here, you can find us across all your social media channels by searching Spooning with Mark Wogan. You can also see us in glorious Technicolor on the Virgin YouTube channel. And, I don't know where else. Where else can we... Oh no, and look, if you like what I do and you can't wait until next week, you can find me at weekends on Virgin Radio Chill 10 till 2, Saturday and Sunday, talking more drivel than normal. But until next week, stay beautiful.